with Norman Flood Barnes. What is your assessment that of this very situation?
Good morning. Um, Here we go again. The president is taking issues with the media. This time with Trevor Noah, he threatened to sue him regarding comments made, and this has once again caused concern with the media and the entertainment industry. Right now, we are still dealing with the budget. Uh, we are still on a partial shutdown with the government. The president is urging Congress, particularly the House, to quickly, hopefully Tuesday, approve the budget with a cutout for dealing with the Department of Homeland Security. So right now, with the cold weather and these chilling comments made by Trevor Noah, uh, the president is pissed off. That's the best say. Thank you.
We know popular singer Bad Bunny had come to the stage and he had said ICE needs to get out. Of course, he's referring to Donald Trump's administration and his policies. And of course, in Portland, Oregon, the mayor publicly demanded that ICE withdraw from the city after federal officers used tear gas, rubber bullets, and pepper balls against demonstrators, including families with children, outside an ICE facility during a protest. That is a very common coming out of the United States of America as of recent. So I want to know what is the future prospectus for these kinds of protests? Do you think that the administration will listen to these remarks? And of course, we know that ICE is also facing a lot of pressures, not only from the people of America, but also from French multinational computer firm, who has of course said they cannot be seen complicit in supporting a faction of another government who is taking such drastic actions. More from Norman Flood Barnes.
Yes, good morning. Thank you again. The issue with ICE is that ICE is becoming a very bad and negative connection with the United States. Anything that apparently ICE is doing is sending out negative uh, response globally. Uh, we're talking about Minnesota. We're talking about reducing the impact of ISIS attacks in Minnesota, but that allows other cities like Portland and other U.S. cities to be targeted. So right now, there's no change in the policy, it's just the location. The locations will change, but the ISIS enforcement tactics is still going on. And because of that, Congress is now debating on how to deal with that. And right now, the most effective way is to hold up the budget, the funding in the bill. Right now, we're still on a partial shutdown in the United States
Right.
regarding that fact that ISIS is running recklessly through the United States and is setting a bad impression globally. And the people are not happy with this, and they're going to their Congress people about we want this ISIS uh, organization defunded. They want to eliminate this, so they're talking now with the president and the administration about how to restructure, do a do-over of this entire Department of Homeland Security and how they enforce things in the United States. It is not looking well. We have the Olympics coming up, and the U.S. government wants to use pieces, portions of ISIS to not ISIS of ICE to do protection for our athletes. The Italian government don't want anything to do with ICE. They don't want any of them anything, even though they may have a office duty or whatever. They don't want ICE in the country at all. So this is the prevailing thoughts of the people in the United States and apparently the global that ISIS is a bad bad omen for the United States, and it is not something I think is going to be tolerated to the point where they cannot exist the way they're doing continually. The United States government is continually using it as enforcement, but I believe that with the pressure from the people and Congress, there have to be major reforms on how they operate and who they report to. So we're waiting to see exactly how this thing is going to go on. But right now, they have not slowed down a bit in terms of what are they doing, how they're enforcing, and the impact they're having on the common folks and the globe.
Of course, a beautiful observation by Norman Floyd Barnes. I want to have another question to you, Norman, before I can come back to the studio. The U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem announced Monday that her department will immediately deploy body cameras to all law enforcement officers operating in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So it took 2 American lives as of last month for this kind of policy to change. Now everyone is going to wear a body camera, and it will bring more reliability upon their actions, or as we are yet to believe what kind of actions they may be. Of course, Kristi Noem had faced a lot of backlash from the U.S. citizens given the two numerous killings that has happened. So do you think that wearing of body cameras is going to add on to the fact that the people want ICE to leave the city, but the Homeland Security is now offering body cameras? What is your observation, Norman Floyd Barnes?
Yes, my opinion is based on my experience actually dealing with camp body cameras is that they have this thing, they have an on and off switch, and you can turn that camera on and off at your choosing. And also with the camera, having the camera, now federal officers now, I'm not talking about local, federal officers now has the camera, but there's no guidelines. Okay, everybody has a camera. What is the guideline? What's the instruction? So what you're going to see now, we know the situation I'm dealing with, the federal officers are dealing with in the street. They are now knowing that it's going to be captured with the camera. So the incidents that we're seeing now are going to happen and continue when the camera's off or a situation where there's no cameras there. So I don't see any benefit from it. It's just accountability thing. Say, hey, we're doing this, we're gonna video. So what you're gonna see is what you we want you to see with the cameras, but what really happening, you're not going to see. So it may be a situation now. Actually, it will be a situation now where the public is now going to be more interactive. We're taking more, telephone using the telephones, cameras to capture these activities. But I do not see it was going to be beneficial to the American public by having the federal officers now have body cams. If we want you to see it, you'll see it on the body cam. If we don't want you to see it, you won't see it on the body cam. So that's one of the things happening.
Donald Trump, the US president, on Monday announced he would reduce tariffs on Indian goods in exchange for, among other things, a promise to stop buying Russian oil. That would be a tall task for India, who has been importing roughly 1.5 million barrels of Russian oil each day, even months after Trump has placed tariffs on Indian goods as a punishment. According to a global trade data provider, Kepler, Russian oil makes up more than a third of India's overall imports. That is on the one hand when we have a free trade agreement with the European Union. I want to ask Norman Floyd Barnes, what is this tariff strategy? To a certain extent, when you do not like foreign policy decisions, you impose a tariff, and then when it is to your liking, you reduce this tariff. Almost a year and a month that we see this kind of policy and global strategy playing out. I want to understand more on the India and the US relations from Norman Floyd Barnes.
Yes, the issue with the tariffs is being utilized as a weapon, a tool, an instrument to manipulate a government into doing exactly what they want. So in this situation, it has appears to have been effective. Uh, India has stated that they will stop buying or start utilizing or monetizing the use of oil from Russia. As a result, the president is going to reward them with a reduction in tariffs. So this is still a pressure instrument used to force governments to do what they want them to do or to form in a different way, to respond in a different way, to do certain things. So this is a apparently effective instrument used by the Trump administration to basically get his will. Uh, However, I don't believe it's going to be something that is going to stand up in the courts. Eventually, the courts will get around to the issues stating that the tariffs itself imposed and how it's been imposed is illegal, and any type of profits from there will have to be returned to the people, to the governments, which the funds was taken from. So right now, it's an effective tool to intimidate, to bully countries to do what they do temporarily, but long term is not something that's going to be sustainable, and the effectiveness of it will go away, and some other instrument will have to be used to manipulate governments to do exactly what they need to do.
Would you agree with Barrister M. Sarwar Hussain on the matters that he has raised regarding America's position regarding the various world topics? Norman Floyd Barnes, on your closing statement.
Uh, the unfortunate thing is that the world is still going to continue. There'll be surface conversations, surface agreements about what we will and will not do. But at the end of the day, the world will continue to function as itself. We have ghost fleets, we have shadow fleets, we have stuff that can be oil can be loaded from Russia, put into another tanker in another country, and still going on. So
Right.
yes, on the surface, this game are going on about what we will and what not do, and I'm going to take tariffs off. I can put tariffs on, basically let you do. But in the end of the day, trade and commerce, these activities will continue. There will be very little effect by saying, I'm going to stop using that. But at the same time, the
Right.
demand and the cost is not going to uh, change things. So what we're seeing is basically a show, a facade for the point that we actually doing something, we're making progress, we're being effective. But in the end, the world is still moving forward and things are still happening and nothing changed from yesterday.